What you are about to hear is an excerpt from Prime on Demand, a Transformers podcast available on iTunes, Stitcher, or primeondemand.com. This is from Episode 2. The topic for this episode? Generation 1, More Than Meets the Eye, Part 1. Well, in the second half of our little foray into the origins of Transformers storytelling, we will be going over the first episode of the first television series. At the time, it was simply called The Transformers, but since then, it has come to be known as Generation 1. And the episode we will go over today is More Than Meets the Eye, Part 1. When Hasbro started working on importing these Japanese toys, as I said, they hired Marvel Comics and Sunbow Productions to work on the two other portions of their three-pronged advertising attack: the toys, comics, and cartoons. To be more specific, Hasbro hired advertising firm Griffin Bacall to work on advertising these characters, and Griffin Bacall owned this little company called Sunbow Productions. So these two men, Griffin and Bacall, started working with Marvel Comics, it seems, to produce the first set of commercials, and later on, a three-part television miniseries called More Than Meets the Eye that eventually turned into the 16-episode first season. Overall, Generation 1 has, in general, come to be the show most recognized when someone says the word Transformers. Now lately, the live-action movies and Transformers Prime have gained in popularity, so it's possible that that has shifted in recent years. Now, as I said in the previous episode of Prime on Demand, we can all agree about how kidsy the original show is, or the animation errors, or the lack of certain plot development. But being completely honest, I love and adore this first season. Now, this will not be a straight commentary as I tried to do with Predacons Rising. That ended up being way more difficult than I thought it would be. It was one of those things that you assume would be easy, but as you start doing it, it becomes very difficult. So, this will not be a straight-up commentary. I will watch the episode and make my notes, my comments about it as that's going on, so I doubt you would be able to play this along with the episode. You're certainly welcome to try, but I cannot guarantee how well that might work out. So this is less of a commentary and more simply a review for this episode. As to where you can purchase this episode, it's currently on DVD, produced by Shout Factory. I'm not checked, but I'm sure it's on iTunes for digital download, or Amazon for the same, and it's currently on Netflix streaming. So if you have Netflix, you can watch this for free. And if you have not done so already, I highly recommend it, especially the entire first season. Alright, now without any further ado, let's get into it. Now, according to TFWiki, this episode aired on September 17th, 1984. I just adore this opening theme. A few of my friends have laughed whenever they got to the line, "Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons." Although, bit of trivia, that was originally supposed to just be spoken by a narrator, but while Griffin Bacall was making the original commercial, they fudged it up a little bit. They accidentally made it part of the song instead of having the announcer do it, so it stuck. I'm glad it stuck. I don't know the name of the actor who does this opening announcement. It wasn't really a series regular. He showed up in a few episodes, I believe, and then in the beginning of the animated movie. His particular style of narrating for the series was so memorable. Even though he wasn't in very many episodes, he's still very recognizable. And the opening narration here is very much similar to the opening narration of the first issue, talking about the planet Cybertron, and there's life, but not life as we know it. Intelligent robots that can think and feel. Sorry, I shouldn't just be reciting lines for this. That would be terrible. And in the beginning of this episode, unlike the beginning of the issue, there's already war going on. Although similar to the issue, this episode gets a lot done. They get all the way to Earth, wake up, and start interacting with the humans by the end of the episode. But I guess I'm getting ahead of myself. And again, here, the reasons for the Decepticons starting the war is kind of ambiguous. As far as they say, it seems to be because they just hated the fact that the Autobots were living in peace. And again, it seems to be an early mention of Iacon. I never really noticed that the first time I watched it. I kind of assumed more recently that Iacon was one of those more recent additions. But no, it's there from the very beginning. The Autobots are on the verge of extinction. Again, like the issue said, deaths by the billions, apparently. And the first real character we see is Wheeljack. Funny choice. What is Wheeljack's accent? Is it New Jersey? I'm not entirely sure. Bumblebee's always looking on the bright side. They found like 5 batteries, and Wheeljack knows his shit. Wheeljack knows that this isn't going to be enough to power anything. But Bumblebee says, well, at least we found these. Could put in a little more effort, Bumblebee. Can't worry about that now, he says. Forward thinker. And some of the characters on Cybertron at the beginning here got their own little Cybertronian modes. And of course, again, another matter of scale when Bumblebee is able to just sit inside Wheeljack. And the first mention of Optimus comes from Bumblebee. Something I noticed throughout the series is even people who are close to Optimus go up to him and say, hey, Optimus Prime. And of course, that's for advertising purposes, but it always felt a little unnatural, especially coming from his friends. That was a sharp right turn, Wheeljack. Good job. I was afraid he was going to drift there for a minute. Drift. Mega Mile. That sounds like it's a far ways away, dude. Your home sweet home looks like shit, Bumblebee. Sorry. Wheeljack has this little shield pop up out of nowhere. It's like, this is like the Tim Burton Batmobile. Just pop up these shields and drop a bomb. Although Wheeljack's backside is clearly exposed, and that crappy little door holding Bumblebee in isn't going to count for anything. And Starscream's voice here is different. It's not Chris Latta. The rest of the episode is Chris Latta, but for some reason in this scene they had a different voice. And the Seekers are using their holding their arm cannons like rifles. I mean, of course, this series is notorious for animation errors, but we forgive it. I want that flamethrower. It shoots a ring of fire on somebody. Oh, I'm Bumblebee's cute little pancake car, and Wheeljack's weak-ass little fans there. Apparently strong enough to cut down the Decepticons anyway, so I don't know why they didn't do it in the first place. And the Seekers turn into these little weird kind of pyramid-like planes, kind of reminiscent later on of Don Figueroa's designs in War Within. And chasing down the 2 cars down this little bridge, and they can't shoot for shit. And Bumblebee loses a wheel even though he's a hover car. And not only can Bumblebee sit inside Wheeljack, but his entire car mode can fit inside Wheeljack. Were you not already going at top speed, Wheeljack? Well, Skywarp is a bit of a negative Nancy here. They went underground, but they didn't even try chasing them there. They just gave up. They're not trying very hard. Oh, the first time they show the transition screen, one of the 4 interstitials they have, the Decepticon and Autobot logos, and the little more than meets the eye robots in disguise jingle. I wish I could have that transition in my life. Wouldn't have to drive anywhere. Just a little jingle in my face spinning around. And of course, no one notices Soundwave standing right next to the door. I guess he's supposed to be a lamppost, but he's a far cry from a real lamppost. He's not like the lamppost robot at the end of Cybertron. Oh, Laserbeak looks a lot like Bumblebee's car mode. Oh, there's another lamp. I guess Soundwave does look like a lamp. Soundwave was voiced by the same actor who did Megatron, Frank Welker, who is, back then and today, a legend in the voice acting industry. And they added a bit of a digital effect to his voice for Soundwave. He did the same voice for Soundwave in Revenge of the Fallen, and I think in Dark of the Moon, I'm not entirely sure. But for some reason they decided not to add the electric effects over it. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I love this music. I wish we could get all of the music from this series on a soundtrack release. This and Beast Wars, it's all of the series, basically. I love they did that for Prime. And I'm sure there's someone out there who's isolated these soundtracks. And if there is, someone please let me know, because I've been trying to find some. Oh, it's the first time we see Jazz and Prime. And of course, everyone's walking around with truck parts. So they need to start a search mission for more energy. In this version, there's no mention of Cybertron being knocked clean out of orbit. No mention of the asteroid field to be destroyed. They simply just need more energy. Cybertron was nearly dead. And Soundwave's off to deliver this message to Megatron. Oh, and the Decepticons are set to launch as well. Oh, I love Shockwave's voice. A borderline between monotonous and serial killer. Corey Burton, the same person who later plays Spike, and he reprised his role for Transformers Animated, as well as playing Megatron in that show. The first time I found Megatron to ever actually be frightening. I've always loved his cold, logical personality about him, and his bio catchphrase. What was it? Clarity of thought before rashness of action. So while they're gone, Shockwave is supposed to be the steward of Cybertron, the little watchdog, and really there's no other person who'd be better suited for that job, with his minute attention to detail. And of course, Shockwave is loyal and accepts this duty. And we see Starscream's first glimpse of insubordination, trying to tell Megatron that had he been in charge, the Autobots would already be defeated. And Starscream openly says he wants to lead the Decepticons. That's bold. Or stupid. I just love Scatman Crothers playing jazz. I ended up one day looking into some of his music on YouTube. I enjoyed a lot of it. Turns out, every one of his albums is out of print. I love they got Peter Cullen back for the movies and games and Prime. Wouldn't be the same without him. And as Peter has said in interviews, he told his older brother, who, forgive me for not remembering the details, was some kind of an officer in the army, that he was going out, trying out for a role of a heroic leader. His brother told him, remember how a true leader speaks. He doesn't scream, he doesn't yell, he's calm. And Peter brought that voice, that emotion, to Optimus, and that is what landed him the role, and why he still has the role to this day. Oh, now they're in an asteroid field. That was a 1 in a billion shot that those two asteroids would hit each other in front of the Ark. Oh, Soundwave, it is a meteor shower? You think so? Thanks for the heads up, bro. Ironhide is tough as nails. Who else would it be, Optimus, besides Decepticons? Again, Starscream's not a great tactician. Fire the laser! That's the best advice you can give anybody. Just fire the laser. The same shot used twice in a row there. Damn, Soundwave can kick some ass, but not as good as Ironhide. And everyone's going after Soundwave today. Well, Optimus was able to shake the tractor beam. Jazz. And I get the impression that Optimus intended to crash the ship to intentionally not only stop the attack of the Decepticons, but also trying to take out Megatron as best he could. Oh, the Netflix version doesn't have the commercials in it. Commercial break bits. I'm watching it on Netflix because I'm lazy and don't feel like getting the DVD off my shelf. 4 million years later. They never say it in the cartoon, but I believe this is still supposed to be Mount St. Hilary, like in the comic. And now the ship is uncovered. And now they're waking up the Ark, Teletran 1, and the Sky Spy, aka Auntie, apparently. Explore! Explore! Sounds like Casey Kasem. And of course, only does the Decepticons, or I guess one of them first. Aww, Skywarp is so loyal. Megatron, my leader. Megatron doesn't even say anything to him, he stares at him. Oh, never mind, it was just a weird cut. Megatron's reviving everybody, even Starscream. I mean, he needs his troops, but still. A little foresight could have saved you some trouble. And trouble in 3, 2... Skywarp has a very good point. They left Shockwave there for 4 million years, but Megatron assumes everything is still the same way it was when they left it. Of course, again, Starscream's ineptitude. I'm just saying goodbye. Starscream's always been one of my favorites. I love him. You should really listen to Megatron Starscream. Oh, no, I guess not. Never mind then. Look what you did. Now Optimus is awake. You dunce. Thanks. See, Optimus is more polite. Those rocks will serve as our base of operations. Very, very astute, Megatron. I hope I don't come off sounding like I'm just entirely making fun of the show. I really do enjoy it. I'm just laughing with it, not at it. Oh, Soundwave is also a rocket scientist. Don't trust anything to Starscream. Use your imagination for materials. And of course, he doesn't have any imagination. But Soundwave has some ideas. How about this power plant 2 feet to our left? See that? Rumble is blue. Conversation over. Where are you going, Starscream? Oh, gonna fly there? Really? Okay. I don't remember that river being there. And of course, Casey Kasem for Cliff Jumper. Easy Cliff Jumper. Starscream wastes no opportunity to brag, or I guess brag is the wrong term, whine about his dreams for being leader. Rumble is just trying to talk some sense into Starscream. Look, Starscream, you're not strong enough to be our leader. Wow, they got a lot done. Damn. Just find them, Cliff Jumper. No firing. I believe that's the first mention of Energon, or Energon cubes, from Soundwave. Holy crap! Where did Cliff Jumper get that gun? More importantly, where was he storing it? I've got Megatron dead center. You had him dead center, and you missed. Sending Laserbeak after 2 Autobots? If only there was a way Laserbeak could split into 2. Oh wait, flying gun. Okay, we're good. What's a moonbeam? That looks like it hurt for Hamd. Ratchet, the dedicated medic. Are you okay? Can you transform? So it was okay to fire on Megatron, the only problem was missing him. Wow, Reflector sounds weird. The triple voices talking all at once. Oh, Reflector's a Polaroid. I don't know that. Looks like someone had a pretty bad headache there. I think Ravage is my favorite deployer. The first humans ever shown on the cartoon are Joe and this other guy working with him. Man, if you saw a giant robot cat chasing you, that'd be the scariest thing ever. Some kind of cube. Ham doesn't know what Energon cubes are. Wheeljack's all gung-ho for battle. Poor Laserbeak, going back to the base, missing one gun. Oh, Laserbeak found a source of energy. Oh, an oil rig. The first appearance of Sparkplug and Spike, Witwicky. How old is Spike supposed to be? He looks way too young to be on an oil rig. Just throw crap at him. That'll really help, not piss him off or anything. Oh wait, I guess he is pissed off, because he tried to kill you. That's so funny, Rumble is about as tall as a human. Just punch the metal thing in front of you. Yeah, that'll... Rumble just pays him no, never mind. He just looks over his shoulder like, bitch. Good going, Sparkplug. Does Sparkplug have a real name? There's gotta be a nickname. Null Ray. Those Energon cubes sound awful familiar. Sound like some kind of ancient, elegant weapon being turned on. Ooh, sparkly. Energon cubes are pretty. Starscream, you suck at math. That's not enough energy to go anywhere. Entire planet? Really? Oh, I guess you need more for the planet, don't you? Oh, look, the Autobots are flying. What an advantage that would be if they kept that throughout the rest of the series. Not as kidding, it's better that they can't fly later on. You know, making it harder for the protagonists. I always thought it was weird that sometimes Megatron lets himself be caught and used by Starscream. I guess this gets into mass shifting, but it's more like problems of scale. Also, if he's such a powerful gun, why doesn't he focus that power through the fusion cannon, which just becomes his sight when he's a gun? Dangerous fighting on top of the oil rig there, and for some reason there's this pipe jousting going on with Starscream and Ironhide. Be careful you don't hit a cube with your laser beam, or the oil, don't want it to explode like it just did. Laserbeak just pegs the Optimus, and it's enough apparently for Megatron to get away. And now the Autobots can't fly. That's just mean, trying to sink the oil rig. See, I told you that oil and lasers wouldn't mix. Spike's acting awful really smiley for someone who's crying out in peril. Just be patient, Sparkplug. Optimus is working on it. Break it, dude. Keep your heads above water, he says. Like, how does Optimus know about human biology? This Netflix version has the little preview for the next episode. It doesn't have that on the new DVD sets. So, no spoilers! Any other noteworthy actors here? Dan Gilvezan playing Bumblebee, Michael Bell playing Prowl, Wally Burr, the voice director, notoriously a hard-ass in the studio. A nice remix of the main theme used in the ending credits here. Overall, I think this might have gone a little better than the commentary from last episode, and I certainly hope that this review turned out well. I feel like the issue review was a little better. Please go on Facebook, Twitter, or the main site. Let me know what you thought of these two reviews compared against each other. Title song by Ford Kinder and Anne Bryant. Music by Johnny Douglas. Writer for this episode was George Arthur Bloom. Here we go. Joe Bacall and Tom Griffin. Sunbow Productions, associated with Marvel Productions Limited. This has been an excerpt from Prime On Demand, a Transformers podcast. For full episodes, go to iTunes, Stitcher, or primeondemand.com.